be able to do this. For those that are slowly joining me, I want to say good evening. This is pretty important to get everybody's undivided attention, and I'm hoping y'all be able to share this live stream as far and wide as possible, especially those people that reside in Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, basically the 12 western states. And I'm hoping that y'all can share this, because this is extremely vital of what is happening, and explains a lot of the things that happened at the Capitol regarding Ammon Bundy. And this is very sinister, and there is a plot, a huge plot, and this plot consists of our Constitution. We have Republican rhinos that have gone rogue against the Constitution, and will go rogue against the Constitution with members of the Democratic Party, playing both sides. This is, right now, two organizations, the Republican rhinos and the Democrats, playing the American people. We are being played by both sides while they keep us divided. And I'm going to bring you some of the things, people that are complicit behind the Article 5 convention. Now, there's a thing that always says, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. There's certain people within the enemies or organizations, especially after the murder of Robert Lloyd Finnegan, that have infiltrated members within the Finnegan family. I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to say it again. There are people that are associated with the Finnegan family that have infiltrated the Finnegan family for financial reasons. I always say, follow the money. Remember about following the money. Now, this all comes back to the government, the federal government, the de facto government, all run by bar members, judges, lawyers, lobbyists, politicians, and bankers. We can't forget the bankers. What they want, the 12 western states, is rich with minerals. Most of the American people think that I'm crazy. Oh, no. It's all on the website on the Bureau of Land Management. But how do you go about stealing the minerals? Because you have a constitution. And because you have a constitution like this, Article 8, Article 8, Section 7, Clause 17? Or is it Article 8, Section 1, Clause 17? I haven't read it in a while. Remember one of these? Remember that Finnegan was preaching about? Now we understand why. The Article 5 Convention, they're pushing for the Article 5 Convention. They're not pushing the Article 5 Convention because they're looking out for the best interest of the United States of America or the people of the United States of America. No, 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 ladies and gentlemen. This is more sinister than what you think. This is the Koch brothers and George Soros coming together to cause division. George Soros, the Koch brothers, Republicans, Democrats, funding organizations to come together. So what happened in Idaho, it should not surprise anyone, because there are people that wanted that and wanted to taint Ammon Bundy, like a tyrannical government, a tyrant, or not a tyrant, but a terrorist. So when you go and you start analyzing everything that's happening behind the scenes, you start realizing that this is bigger than we ever can imagine. And they're pushing for an Article 5 convention. This is bankers and members of the American Bar Association. Remember, Article 5 is going to go a rogue convention run by the American Bar Association. Or let me rephrase that. Members of the American Bar Association. Judges, lawyers, lobbyists, and politicians. All crooks. Going to hijack the Article 5 convention. Rewrite the Constitution to defraud the American people. I'm letting you guys know right now, there's going to be more research on this. I will bring you more information on this. And now you all going to understand who is friend and who is foe. And there are going to be names that I'm going to be mentioning. And in these names that I'll be mentioning, I will promise you, I am going to have the source. I'm going to have the money. And I'm going to show you the people that are using certain people to bring in Article 5 convention. Now, I want to bring you what happened with Ammon Bundy and Kirk Pendergrass that was there to document it. And I'm hoping that this live stream will go to Kirk Pendergrass. I am hoping this live stream will go to Lee Arthur Rice. I am hoping this live stream will go to Casey. I am hoping this is going to go to Ammon. And then obviously there are other information coming out. And I'm going to go very, very, very slow to show you certain people right now and what happened when Ammon was arrested. So we're going to go through the corporation because you have to understand this is about money. It's not personal. It's just about money. And who sells out for money? Who sells out the country for money? To Antifa, to Black Lives Matter, to the Patriot Prayer Group. I'm going to show you why y'all need to come together with the Native Americans and ranchers. We are being played like suckers. We are being played by the members of the American Bar Association, judges, lawyers, lobbyists, politicians, and bankers. And until y'all decide to figure that out and come together, you would realize that these rich cocksuckers are not looking out for our best interest. That's what I said. Rich cocksuckers. That's what they are. Rich cocksuckers that sold us out, that want us to depopulate each other, to want us to self-destruct, to want us to kill each other, to want us to hate each other. They're playing both sides. Keep going with that status quo. But I'm going to show you the money, because money never lies. Money never discriminates. So let me turn this around and show you a little bit of what's happening. So now I'm going to show you guys right here. This right here is going to be beautiful. This company right here called the D&T Investment Group, LLC. That's coming out of California. What's in California? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Everything coming through George Soros, just like coming out of New York, with the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, with the Koch brothers. Oh, there's big companies. So this is what's happening right here. They're using this company. Remember this company right here. D&D Group, LLC company. A limit liability company, okay? Limit liability. It's a D&D investment. Now, what's this a D&D investment? I will put you, because remember, I'm going to show you how many people are tied to the D&D investments. And I'm going to show you about the D&D investments. See that? D&D investments. This is a website. Okay? This is a Duns and Bradstreet number. Anybody knows about business, you'll know about the Duns and Bradstreet. You'll know about D&D Investments Group, LLC. You're going to come and you're going to go see. It's all run by bankers. There's a profile company. You see this? Remember, money ain't going to lie. Money never discriminates. This is a D&D Investment Group, LLC, located in Ramona, California, the United States, and part of the investment firms. Remember, it says firms. Okay? I want you to understand the word firms. Firms, industry, and D&D investment groups, LLC. When you come into these investments, you will see that the Koch brothers and George Soros and a lot of powerful people are invested through D&D investments. And I'm going to show you who's financially funding the conventions of states, the Article 5 conventions of states. Remember, they don't care if you're Democrat. They don't care if you're Republican, Rhino. They don't care if you're a man or a woman. They do not care if you're Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Patriot Prayer Group, a Trump supporter, a Second Amendment, a constitutionalist. They don't care. It's all about the money. And what is about money? Minerals, land, water. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So now that we're there, I'm going to show you all this right here. You guys are going to come to the D&D investments. You're going to see what they make, how many companies, how many countries are located. All this through Duns and Bradstreet, because money never lies. Money will never lie and will never discriminate. So I want you to see that. This is all here. So you guys can go here. I'm going to put that there. Now we're going to go to why I'm so emphasizing in this. Because we got a clown that decided to go after Ammon Bundy and decided to run his mouth. But because he ran his mouth, I want to say thank you. I greatly appreciate you running your mouth. Now I understand by running your mouth who you're affiliated with. And I'm going to let me go this way. I apologize because we're keeping everything. We took screenshots. We're putting names out there. I'm definitely going to put names out there. So where's D&D also at? Oh, well, look, D&D. So this is one of the addresses, 285-59 South Portside Avenue. That right now should be very, very, very interesting regarding that address, especially where that site is at right there. See, what state is that site at, Laz? Oh my God, but we got people that are affiliated with the University of Oregon. We got people with a Mountain View Senior. We know who that guy is. Let me bring you who that guy is. This funny guy right here. You see this funny guy right here? This funny guy, this treasonous bastard right here? This traitor right here? For you guys that do not know who this corrupt criminal's at? Well, I'm going to tell you who his name is, because this criminal sure likes to run his mouth. Not that he likes to run his mouth, but now I understand. Oh yeah, he's well embedded with Nike. Oh yeah, remember Nike, the same Nike that bought land over there in Oregon under Kate Brown, the same Nike company that gave Kate Brown contributions, the same Nike company that gave Ron Wyden also thousands of dollars in his campaign contribution. What about Greg Walden? Absolutely, Greg Walden got money from Nike. I'll guarantee you. Almost 60% of your legislators got money from Nike. House of Representatives and Senators, Republicans and Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, they got money from Nike. And this prick right here, he knows what I'm talking about, because I got all the financial records on Nike. So it's all about money. But this prick right here, he's well invested and tied into the Article 5 convention. Let me tell you who this puppet is. But when he wants to go target and run his mouth about the Ammon Bundy, well, here we go. We're going to put his little comment out here. So I'm going to put it here on full blast on who he is. And then we're going to come down to the money, all about money. You see right here? So he comes over here and decides to run his mouth about Ammon. You see right here? I want you guys to see that. So this is a prick. This is a cocksucker right here. This is David DeSanciati. All right, so that is David DeSanciati. Let me tell you this much, David DeSanciati. Thank God for Lee Arthur Rice. Thank God for Lee Arthur Rice, Kirk Pendergrass, and Casey being there. I might just take a trip down to Idaho. Maybe I can see your candy ass, David DeSanciati. So this is his stupid ass comment. So, was Bundy drunk, or does he always look and sound like he came off a bender? Also, thanks to the officer for enforcing orders in the state house work. But you know this cocksucker? He's right behind the Article 5. And I can't wait till I see that prick eye to eye, because I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. Lazaro Escenaro is gonna give you a piece of his mind, David DeSanciati. So you understand who I am. I'm not hard to find, but I know who you are, and I know you're not hard to find. Not that you're not hard to find, now I know who you're in bed with. The Koch brothers, or the Koch brothers. That's right, I'm going to call from here on out the Koch brothers, and I'm going to call you the cocksucker, because that's what you are, is a cocksucker, because you sold out this country. All right, you and your Article 5 convention, you're going to shove it up your ass. You want to destroy this country? Watch this. I'm going to expose you for what you are. All you cocksuckers. I'm going to expose you, every single one of you that are behind this Article 5 convention and the purpose of this Article 5 convention. To the ladies and gentlemen out there, I apologize for talking this way. But to know that they're going to try to destroy the Constitution, to know that they're going to defame the Constitution, and then know they're going to manipulate and infiltrate certain family members, right now, somebody's being played. And now I know why. Now I know why they're so tied to Mrs. Finnegan. Now I understand why. You understand? People do things, but there are people that do things because it's a lot sinister. It's a lot sinister. You got to understand this. I don't want any God-loving American to trust me. I want every God-loving American, including our military, to research the information. Everything I am going to put out in the next 3 weeks, is all for you to research and read. I'm telling you right now. In the next 3 weeks, I'm going to put so much information between the Koch brothers, the Soros, and this cocksucker, and certain people around the Finnegan family. All right? Idaho, you are You have to stand strong. To the people of Idaho, there are people that have infiltrated the Republican Party. You got Republican rhinos. If they don't go along with the Constitution, you know who the traitor is. Let me say that again. Let me reiterate. For those that question the Constitution or go against the Constitution, you would realize who the traitors are. Do not take my word for anything for face value. Ever take my word for face value. Question everything I say for the next 3 weeks. If I am wrong, I will owe Mrs. Finnegan an apology. But if I am right, we save this nation from an Article 5 convention. That's what we're playing with right now. They're playing with fire. And now that they're playing with fire in a sensitive topic, I'm going to expose every single criminal. The Koch brothers or the Koch brothers. David DeSanti, I can't pronounce his name. I can't pronounce his cocksucker's name. But I promise you this much. I know how deep and embedded he is. And I know people how he's tied to. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out who these cocksuckers are. So let's keep those words. Remember, he's going to eat those words. Now, what else did he say about Ammon Bundy? Let's go see what else he said about Ammon Bundy. Let me bring this down right there. That's what else he said about Ammon Bundy. I want to personally thank the state police, the state house staff for enforcing order in the people's house. This condescending bastard. You handled the situation extremely well. And I hope this small group of rebel Rossers stood whatever it is they're trying to do in Idaho. Thank you. But guess who's involved with D&D? Oh, now I understand the sinister on how deep you go, David. How deep you go, you cocksucker. Because you know what David's tied to? Oh, yeah. Let me put David over here on full blast. This is David right here. I'm going to show you a little bit of David if he's not directly tied to this right here. Let me go back over here. Let me see this real quick. Let me go down. Let me go the other way because this is incredible. This is insanity right now. So who is he affiliated with? I'm going to go ahead when you guys get done. I'm going to put 2 links. And I want you guys to go ahead and look at those 2 links. But I'm going to put it, let me see where did I go. Where did I go? I had to go up. I believe I went up, right? So remember, that is him making a statement about Ammon Bundy. So I just want you guys to be real right there. That's him. All right. So this guy right here, you know who he's affiliated with? I'm going to show you right now, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. That's his relationship coming out of New York. Right? Brooklyn, New York, in a relationship. So this is who he is. Guess who that company is? Guess who D&D Investment Group is? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Who is directly affiliated with D&D Investments? Behind Article 5 Convention. D&D Investment Group. There you go, right there. D&D Investment is this cocksucker right here. This cocksucker right here is directly invested with the D&D Investments tied to the Koch brothers, George Soros. I'm telling you, with Nike, they want that land. They want the minerals. They want the water. They want it all. And how they're going to do it? Through an Article 5 convention. Remember, you're hearing it right now. Now let's see who's behind this Article 5 convention. There's a lot going to be coming out, but I'm just going to show you a snippet of what's going to really happen right here. So, I can't wait to Kirk. I want Kirk to go to Holder. I can't wait to Kirk and I collaborate and Lee Arthur Rice and KC, because all this information, I want the people of Idaho to understand how powerful this information is. We are being played by both sides, ladies and gentlemen. We are being played by both sides. Trust me, we're taking screenshots. All these names, all these people, now we understand why they're so adamant going after. Remember this. The convention amendment to the Constitution to be called per Article 5. The organization funded and won a class action. Remember who's going to push this Article 5 convention. The screenshots are coming, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be huge because this is a 3-week, almost maybe a month of work. Because we're getting everybody that's behind all these comments, we're cross-referencing them to the companies that they're participating in. All right? This guy right here, this cocksucker right here, David right here. Oh, yeah, now we understand why he's trying to bash, slander, and defame Ammon Bundy because of the Article 5 through the D&D investments. Now let's go to the money. It's all about the money. So let me go about the money. Let's go right here. We're going to start right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here. So now I'm going to go, because we took screenshots, we're putting some stuff together. This is called the Citizens for Self-Governance, all right? The Citizens for Self-Governance. Let me show you a little bit about who's behind the Citizens for Self-Governance. Remember, there's a sinister thing going on, and I don't know if it just was a coincidence or intentional. But there are people within the Finnegan family, or people that have infiltrated the Finnegan family. And I'm going to keep that information. In the next 3 weeks, everything's going to be released, name by name, picture by picture. People behind the Article 5 convention. The Citizens for Self-Alliance, all right? The Citizens for Self-Governance, former John Hancock Committee for the State, and doing business as Convention of State Foundation, is a right-wing political organization led by Mark McKellar and Eric O'Keefe. This is a campaign for the Article 5 convention to amend the United States Constitution. You know, this amazing Constitution in which has an amazing man by the name, God rest in peace, Robert Lavoie Finnegan. That's the Constitution that the man was assassinated for talking and preaching and educating God-loving Americans. This is Robert Lavoie Finnegan. This is what they want to change. The Constitution this man, this God-loving American, was educating God-loving Americans across our country, all 12 Western states, about the Constitution. These cocksuckers that are owned and controlled by George Soros and the Koch brothers are selling us out. They're playing both sides. Listen to me. They're playing both sides. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Patriot Prayer Group, Trump supporters, Second Amendment, constitutionalists. They're playing us like suckers. They're playing both sides. If you know an Antifa member, show him this. If you know a Patriot Prayer Group, somebody in there, show them this. They're playing both sides. I cannot articulate it any better. They're playing us like suckers. And they're getting away with it. Because they did their game is already in motion. We're destroying each other. We're killing each other. They did it intentionally. On purpose. Because we as people are driven by emotion. We no longer think outside the box. Because we can never believe that something so sinister could happen in front of us. We lost our ways as a nation. But it's time for us to come back and unite. Put our emotions aside. Put our differences aside. Know what's really happening. For the sake of humanity. For the sake of our military. Our president. Our children and our grandchildren. Question everything I say and do your own research. Do your own diligence. And if we're being played by both sides, these bar members and bankers, then who has blood in their hands? Who has blood in their hands? When people are dying from both sides, who has blood on their hands? Don't take my word for it, America. Please circulate this live stream. Only you can educate our brothers and sisters. We can no longer depend on the media. It's bought and controlled by the same criminals that are funding Antifa and Black Lives Matter in the Convention of 5. Article 5 Convention. They're funding it all. while we sleep and self-destruct. But let's continue on. The Citizen for the Citizen for Self-Governance, formerly John Hancock Committee of the State, and doing business as Convention of State Foundations, is a right-wing political organization led by Mark McKellar and Eric O'Keefe, and that is campaigning for the Article 5 Convention to amend the U.S. Constitution. Right-wing my ass, traitors. Do not believe that. That is all about the media keeping us divided. Left wing, right wing. It's all about their narrative. Making it fit, making it stick so we can look like crazies. The CSG website stated that it will alleviate the awareness and provide resource advocacy and education to support organizations and individuals exercising the right to govern themselves. The CSG has sued the IRS over its investigation of whether certain political active organizations were incorrectly filing a nonprofit. Through the Convention of States projects, CSG promotes an effort to amend the U.S. Constitution pursuant to Article 5, which provides the 34th state two-thirds can trigger a convention to propose an amendment which must be ratified by the 38 states. Listen to that, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what I'm saying, please. Please listen to what I'm saying. And please question everything I am saying. I'm begging you. Please, 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 please question everything I'm saying and cross-reference all the names. You'll realize the corporations that are behind this. They're both Republican and Democrats. Both parties are pushing for the Article 5 conventions through the members of the American Bar Association and the bankers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Bankers, lobbyists, politicians, lawyers, and judges, all behind the Article 5 convention through the American Bar Association. All right, now we got that out of the way. Let me go continue on. Right here. Okay? So I'll get started right up there if you want me to. A constitutional convention is something thought impossible not long ago. It looks increasingly likely. Under Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution, if the 34 states legislators issue a call for a constitutional convention, Congress must convene one. By some counts, the right wing only needs 6 more states. It's not just the right wing, ladies and gentlemen, because the left wings were the first ones to push it, and I'm going to show you. Once called, delegates can propose and vote on changes and new amendments to the U.S. Constitution, which, if approved, are currently required to be ratified by the 38 states. There are 2 major legislative pushed for a convention at the state level. One would attempt to engineer a convention for the balanced budget amendment only, and the other tries to ensure upon convention for the purpose of limiting the power and jurisdiction of the federal government. But once a convention is underway, all bets are off. A runaway convention. You will see a runaway convention. The convention can write its own rules, resulting in a wide open and runaway convention that can make major changes to the Constitution, and some argue even change number of states required to ratify those changes. If America gets settled with a runaway convention, the Koch brothers, Cotera funders will be a blame. Most of the groups pushing the convention ideas are being underwritten by one or more institutions led by billionaires industries, Charles and David Koch, or I call them cocksuckers, and George Soros. With the Gates Foundation, with the Clinton Foundation, with the Chelsea Foundation, with the Rockefeller Foundation. They're all in bed. All of them are in bed. This is very serious because what's happening in Idaho, everybody missed it. This is where we're talking about. 2859 South Portside Avenue, Boise, Idaho. 87306, United States. David, you cocksucker. You know that address, right? You cocksucker. You know where that address is at. You know that address. Oh, yeah, you do know that address. Now, the people on this live stream know that address. And there's a lot more to come. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got addresses? Well, let me see. Let me go back. This is D&D Investments. That's what David's at. D&D Investment Group. That's where David's tied to. So we're gonna see. Let me break this back down. So I want to show you guys down money, because all you guys is money. Everything in red and everything in blue. Republican, Democrat. All right. Republican, Democrat. So let's see who'll fund this. The CGS files its taxes forms under the name Citizen for Self-Governance. Don't let the name trick you. Do not let the name trick you. George Soros has done the trickery with names also, just like what they're doing with this. The Citizen for Self-Governance and Jan Hancock Committee for the State, CSG, does not disclose its donors. Why don't we disclose their donors? Why don't they disclose their donors? Think about it. How come CSG does not disclose its donors? Transparency, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever happens to transparency? Whatever happens to truth? Think about it. I want you guys to see that. Abel Hanger Foundation. Donor Capital Foundation, $250 million. Donor Trust, $788,000. Dunn's Foundation for the advertisement of right thinking, $300,000. Enhort Family Foundation, that is right there, Democrat, $5,000. The Greater Houston Community Foundation, Republican, $2,023,650. Henry E. Holler, JR Foundation, $15,000. Judicial Education Program, $950,000. Lee Family Foundation, $20,000. The Merce Family Foundation, $500,000. Merce, Seattle, Washington. Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, Merce. The Armstrong Foundation, $5,000. The Middlemass Family Foundation, $5,000. There's a lot more, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even touching the surface. I'm just letting you show you guys both sides. But you want to go about revenue? Here it is. This is what they did 2018, 17, 16, and then 15, and then it goes 14, and now. Remember, all these money is all going up for a convention, for an Article 5 convention. And Idaho is prime real estate for the Article 5 convention. That's why they were trying to keep a lot of things hush-hush when Ammon was at the Capitol. That's why they were targeting Ammon while he was getting arrested. That's why certain people are colluding that have infiltrated the Finnegan family. But that's okay. Don't take my word for it. 3 weeks, I'm going to show you a lot of things here within the next 3 weeks. I will promise you, Republicans and Democrats. I'm telling you right now, there is money. This is the convention. This is the Koch brothers. All right? Who did the Koch brothers merge with? George Soros. Start looking at everything that the Koch brothers, the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundations, the Rockefeller Institute have in common. D&D Investments. Let me say that again. What do they all have in common? The D&D Investments. And they're pushing for an Article 5 convention. And they're funding both sides to self-destruct. Because these bankers, cocksuckers, with the American Bar Association, the judges, the lawyers, the lobbyists, and the politicians are all banking on the Article 5 convention. Republicans and Democrats, men and women, Catholics, Jews, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, everyone that's behind these criminals, the D&D investment, George Soros, Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, the Chelsea Foundation. I'm telling you, America, we've been infiltrated. All three branches of government has been infiltrated. Even within family, there's infiltration. You got to understand how deep this is going to go. Now we got the Rockefeller, right? I mean, the Koch brothers. Remember, they're in bed with George Soros. They were vocal about it. They're in bed with George Soros. No secret. No secret that the Koch brothers are in bed with George Soros. No secret that the Koch brothers are behind stealing mineral rights from Native Americans and ranchers. Why do you think they invest in district attorneys? Why do you think they invest in judges? District attorneys and judges, what do they have in common? The American Bar Association. And who invests in the D&D investments? These cocksuckers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is deep. The ones that are pushing the Article 5 convention. In Idaho, time to wake up, Idaho. It's in your backyard. It's in your backyard. So let me tell you this. The libertarian bill, there ain't no libertarians. These cocksuckers are not libertarians. Not whatsoever. Libertarian billionaires Charles and David Koch have long opposed federal power and federal spending. Koch Industries is one of the nation's biggest polluters and has been sanctioned and fined over and over again by both federal and state authorities in response to the Kochs that have launched a host of limited government advocacy organizations and have created a mass $400 million campaign finance network to fuel by the fortunes and those of the wealthy right-wing allies that arrived at two major political parties. All this right here is to cause division. All this is here to cause division because George Soros also does the same. Hillary Clinton also does the same. The Rockefeller Foundation also does the same. No secret, ladies and gentlemen. They all do it. They just have some prick write an article to stir up our emotions, to feel that emotion. Put that gasoline on that fire. Oh yeah. The Koch's Americans for Prosperity says it favors a balanced budget convention, such as austerity amendment that would drastically cut the size of the federal government, threatening critical programs like Social Security and Medicare, and asserting the government's ability to respond to economic downturns, major disasters, and the climate crisis. The AFP has opposed an open convention, calling it problematic, but whenever qualms that the Kochs might have, they continue to be qualms. When the Kochs might have, they continue to be a bedrock founder of the entire convention movement. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. But George Soros is also behind it with them. They're playing both sides. Don't worry about it. It's coming together. So I'm just showing you. So there you go. Eric O'Keefe is the chairman of the board and has deep ties to Charles and David Koch and has been a founder and the founder of the Numbers right-wing group for including Wisconsin Club for Growth, which is a center to the called John Doe criminal probe involving Governor Scott Walker. O'Keefe has fought back against the probe through press and the courts and involved in CGS in that fight. In 2015, the CGS launched the website WisconsinJohnDoe.com. CSG also reportedly funded a variety of lawsuits connecting to the John Doe, including a 2014 lawsuit in Wisconsin to end enforcement of the state campaign finance law and illegal coordination between dark money groups and candidates. See below. O'Keefe and McKellar run the Electo nonprofit Nonprofit Convention of States Action, and CG and CSG. Now, I'm telling you right now, that they are playing both sides. They're going to play both sides. You do not want to take my word for it? Start looking at Idaho regarding the Article 5 convention. You are going to see it's going to be on your doorstep. And you are going to see people trying to go after Ammon and trying to crucify Ammon. But I am letting you know, it's all about money. Do not take my word for it. It's all about money. Ever take my word for anything I say for face value. All this is about money, about land, about water, and about minerals. That's all it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Do not take my word for it. Question who these criminals associate with themselves. Here you go. The Koch Link Group have provided nearly $5.4 million to CSG from the group funds in 2011 through 2015. These are the old articles. There's a lot more that's going to come out. Even Vanguard, remember Vanguard is an investment company, a retirement investment company in which the government uses a lot, and private corporations. So Vanguard is a charitable endowment. So Vanguard Charitable Endowment Program, which has received hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Donors Capital Fund, gave $2.5 million from 2012 to 2013, and then there's a whole lot more. But I want to break you down more or less of what you guys are going to see in the next 3 weeks regarding the Koch brothers, the George Soros, the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative. This cocksucker named David, and I can't pronounce his last name, but you're going to see all this. The Koch brothers, who's bankrolling the Article 5 convention, we are going to be played, and we are going to be played by emotions because they're funding both sides. They want Antifa, they want Black Lives Matter, they want Trump supporters, their Patriot prayer groups. They want us to self-destruct. They want us to depopulate each other. They want to keep their turmoil going while they're pushing the Article 5 convention with bar members and bankers. Bar members and bankers. And you know what? I'll guarantee this much. If it goes through, it will be a runaway convention. Get your guns ready, ladies and gentlemen. Do not take my word for it. I'm telling everyone, if there's a runaway convention, get your guns ready. Because the names that I'm going to be putting out, those are the people that you should hold accountable. And those people right now that are protesting in Portland, in Washington, California, New York, both sides start looking into this information. I want both sides. Because knowledge comes power. And we got to start to reason with each other. Reasoning comes understanding. And with understanding comes facts. The truth will always prevail if we're willing to seek the truth. I don't want anybody from either party, either side, to take my word for it. I want every God-loving American to do their own diligence for the sake of the Republic. Because I am tired of these criminals going after God-loving ranchers like the Bundys and other ranchers out there that are fighting for their land, just like Native Americans. This plot is bigger than we thought. This plot is going to reveal a lot of names that some of you might know. No different than when you see a pedophile and you know that pedophile. That's what you're going to see right here in the next 3 weeks. And if the truth is so inconvenient, then you don't have to watch my live streams. But at the end of the day, money never discriminates. It never lies. So don't hate me. Hate the criminals that are perpetuating the Article 5 convention. Everybody knows. Let my work speak volume. Judge me for my work. and question everything I say. Don't ever take my word for face value. Question everything I say. I'm going to come here now. I'm going to exit here. I'm going to see what else we have here. Here you go right there. It's a 501c4 nonprofit connection to CG4, the Alliance for Self-Governance, which does business as Convention of States Actions, receives $270,000 in 2014 for the American Limited Government, which has received funding not only by the Donors Capital Fund, but by the two Koch funded political groups, the Center to Protect Patients' Rights and the Americans for Job Security. Trust me on this, America. They're playing both sides. Everything is a front. Trust me. Everything is a front. If you want to go and anybody wants to do a live stream, wants to do a debate, please, by all means, I'm more than happy for that debate. See that Article 5? A Constitutional Convention, something might impose not long ago, which I read earlier, is looking increasingly likely. Under Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution of the 34 states, issue a call for a constitutional convention. Congress must convene one by some count, and the right wing only needs 6 more states. But guess what? Who do you think were the first states to push for the Article 5 convention? Think about that question. I'll answer that question in a couple of minutes. But who do you think was the first one to push for the Article 5 convention? I'll leave it right there. I'm going to leave this right here. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to close it like this. Because I'm going to come back to this guy later on. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. All right? I want you guys to see that guy. All right? That's what I want you guys to remember. Now, let me turn this around. I'm going to stop right there. Because there's a lot more that's going to come. But you got to understand that there are a lot of people. There's a whole lot of names. I'm gonna name drop. I'm going to show you pictures of these people. I'm going to name drop and put pictures with everybody. And money. Because money doesn't discriminate. I'm going to put them on blast. And to Antifa and Black Lives Matter, by all men, have a field day. Have a field day. With George Soros, with the Clintons, with the Rockefeller Foundation, with all the pharmaceutical corporations, the CEOs, board of trustees, board of directors. You want to have a field day? I'll promote that. I'll fund that. I will fund that. You go after George Soros, I'll fund you. You go after the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation in Seattle, I will fund you. I will fund you. Lazaro Asenaro, if Antifa and Black Lives Matter go after the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, I will contribute to their organization. Because these are the criminals that are pushing the Article 5 convention. That's right. But funding both sides. Funding both sides. Don't talk too much. Let me say this. If you don't think that money does not corrupt, look what happened with the Bundys and how many people were informants, rats, traitors during the Malheur Wildlife Refuge. Money does not discriminate. The same people that are targeting our 45th president, Donald J. Trump, right here, American Brigade, are also behind the Article 5 convention. For those that did not hear me clearly, the same people that are pushing the Article 5 convention are also going after this man, our 45th president, Donald J. Trump. And they're also funding Antifa and Black Lives Matter. How about them apples? Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer at its finest. While what's happening over there and what's happening in Idaho, keeping us distracted, Article 5 convention. And the first state that was behind the article being pushed for the Article 5 convention was a Democratic state. Would you be surprised if there are more Democratic states that pushed for the Article 5 convention than Republican states? Use the noodle, ladies and gentlemen. Use the noodle. If it was the Koch brothers that were behind this, a Republican right-wing group, then why is it more Democrat states are signed behind the Article 5 convention? Use the noodle. Remember, the Bar Association, its members of the American Bar Association are at every capital. Every capital, all 50 states, you will see a bar member. Every 50 states, you are going to see a bar member at the executive branch, at the legislative branch, and at the judicial branch. Let me say it again. Every bar member is in the executive branch, or a bar member is at the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Violation of separation of powers. But they've infiltrated through the organization, the American Bar Association. And who is the bar in bed with? George Soros. George Soros. And who did George Soros give $10 million at a Republican state? It's called Oklahoma. Oklahoma received $10 million. The Oklahoma Bar Association kindly accepted $10 million from George Soros. And this is a Republican state. And also that hates our 45th president, John Stitt, a Republican rhino that's backstabbing our 45th president. I said it. Lazarus and all. J. Kevin Stitt, a Republican rhino, has been backstabbing our 45th president. Just like Ron DeSantis from Florida, and just like Abbott from Texas. They're no different than Kate Brown or Governor Inslee from Washington State. No different. They're backstabbing our 45th president. And while they do it, they hide behind Antifa and Black Lives Matter and George Soros and the Koch brothers' money. And Kaiser Foundation. Let me not forget Kaiser or Kaiser Pharmaceutical. Money does not discriminate. But money buys you traitors, buys you rats. That's what money buys you. A lot of traitors and a lot of rats. Money buys you that. And they're willing to sell out the republic. They're willing to destroy this. They want to destroy this. They want to have a runaway Article 5 convention to destroy the Constitution. What this man died for. What this man preached. What this man was trying to educate the world. The country. A God-loving American. A God-loving rancher. That's what. See, I'm not for sale. People that I know, like me, are not for sale. And because we're not for sale, we're going to put everything about you But see, to you guys, it's business. To me now, it's personal. Because now you're screwing what this man represents. Now you're screwing what the founding fathers created. Now you're destroying what the military stood for. You cocksuckers. You cocksuckers. That's what y'all are. But I'm not for sale. And God live our 45th president. And we are going to make sure, damn sure, 4 more years. 4 more years. You Republican freaking treasonous traitors. We got traitors within the Republican Party, ladies and gentlemen. And these cocksuckers are all of them. Bar members that are pushing an Article 5 convention with the bankers. With investors, investiers. To steal what belongs to the American people. They're going to steal from you. They don't care if you're Antifa. They don't care if you're Black Lives Matter. They don't care if you're white supremacist. They don't care if you're KKK. They don't care if you're a Trump supporter. All they care about is this. The royalties that are underneath the ground is this. The water that runs down through our country. It's all about this. They don't discriminate. And they won't discriminate. But to those out there that want to seek the truth, find out. Start looking. Start researching. Start reading. Start educating yourself. Start using the noodle and start asking questions. Because what happened in Idaho, there was something sinister going on. And now I understand why. Now I understand why. Because when you follow the money, you will always seek the truth. And you'll understand how deep the corruption goes. And trust me, money does not discriminate. Because this cocksucker, David, he's a white guy. Ammon is a white guy. Robert LeBoy Finnegan is a white man. They don't care. Money. There are people out there that sell themselves for a buck. Bankers, politicians, judges, lawyers, and lobbyists will sell this country and your mother with it. And I truly hope that Antifa, Black Lives Matter, will circulate this live stream. The Patriot Prayer Group, I hope you circulate this live stream. The Trump supporters, the Second Amendment, the Constitutionals, the true libertarians, the Ron Paul libertarians. Let me say that. The Ron Paul libertarians. This is going to get deep. Article 5 convention, now we know who's going to be behind it. And I'm going to put names, faces, and addresses. And let me reiterate to Antifa. If and when you go after the Gates Foundation there in Seattle, Washington, and Amazon, and the Clinton Foundation, and Open Society Foundation in New York, and the UN, you got my ass, you got my candy ass donating. Matter of fact, I know a lot of God-loving Americans that would also fund that. If you want to go riot, you want to go protest, those are the places you got to go protest. I'll guarantee you this much. You would have ranchers and Native Americans and helping you with your cause. But remember, George Soros is on the list. The same George Soros that's funding you guys is the one that's also behind the Article 5 convention. And he wants to sell you out. Just like he wants to sell the ranchers and Native Americans out. And every God-loving American. Now you understand about the New World Order. The New World Order is a runaway New World Order. It's a runaway convention, Article 5 convention for the New World Order. Don't believe me? You don't want to believe me? You don't have to. But those, research And those that don't, just stand by and watch. See it play out. So to those out there, God bless our military. God bless our country. God bless our children. And God bless our 45th president. Start using a noodle and thinking about the Article 5 convention and what happened in Idaho. There's something sinister. And now we're going to expose this plot. It's a serious plot. There's one hell of a conspiracy. So thank you and God bless.